When a male narcissist targets his supply, he looks for women who have achieved a lot in their life, who are influential, who are empathetic, who are kind, who are basically strong, who are difficult to get, difficult to tame. You might wonder why. Because that is seen in itself a challenge, and the pleasure in bringing this kind of woman down is the ultimate source of satisfaction for such a broken soul. The fact is, this kind of narcissist projects his mother envy on the woman he chooses to break. The hatred that remained unresolved, the conflicts that remained unresolved are now taken out on this person he chooses to be with. Basically, he abuses, subconsciously I would say, his mother through abusing you. He tries to bring her down in every woman that he tries to have a relationship with. Let's talk more about this in today's episode, and before we do, let's watch a clip together. If the narcissistic mother puts her son on a pedestal, why does he hate her? Well, the relationship between them is not real. There is enmeshment, and enmeshment is dysfunctional attachment. As a child, this narcissistic man is parentified into taking care of the emotional needs of his narcissistic mother. In the process of doing so, he almost takes place of the partner, of the father, and at the same time, his own emotional needs are unmet. This creates a lot of hatred, a lot of resentment and frustration within him, but he can't express all of that because of fear, obligation, or guilt. And ultimately, when this hatred, unprocessed shame, and resentment gets mixed with other narcissistic personality traits, we get a misogynistic, narcissistic male. And this hatred is then later projected on the female partners. So the biggest takeaway from all of this is a male narcissist is essentially a misogynist who targets his partners just to take revenge on his mother. He targets those women who have established a lot, who have done a lot, who have achieved a lot, who are influential, who are basically strong, who are empathetic, who are kind, who are giving, and then brings them down, takes a lot of pleasure in doing so. That makes him feel strong, that makes him feel victorious. It's like I'm one-upping my mother. I am finally destroying her through destroying you. This generalization, this generalized hate does not make any sense whatsoever, but that is what a male narcissist always remains stuck in. The ironic thing about all of this is, while a narcissist, a male narcissist targets you as his female partner, he might be still enmeshed with his mother. He may not show any aspect of hatred in that relationship. Quite the opposite, he may be subservient, completely obedient. He may do the things with her that he's supposed to do with you. And that is shocking, confusing, because on one hand I say he hates her, but on the other he seems to love her as if she is her wife, not you. Well, that is what narcissistic personalities run on. They run on hypocrisy. They wear masks, and these masks interact with each other, even when it's about two narcissists, the narcissistic mother and the narcissistic male. The fear this narcissistic mother has put in him, in his psyche, still runs him. He wants to, but he cannot annihilate her. He wants to hate her, but he just cannot seem to, because he feels obliged to enable her as she does. So in a very crazy, a very disgusting way, they become each other's extreme source of supply. The narcissistic mother enables quite blindly the son's ego, while the son provides and fulfills all the needs that her partner was supposed to do. If we go back to the narcissist's childhood, this is what happened. The narcissistic mother replaced her partner through the son. The son became her partner, and then the enmeshment began. With that enmeshment, incest came into the picture. Sometimes it's physical, sexual incest, and other times it's just emotional. Nonetheless, it's important to understand that the narcissist doesn't bring you down because there are faults within you, or you're crazy, or you are too much to deal with, or you are way out of his league and you have to bring yourself down, you have to downplay everything. No, he brings you down because he can't get you. So he has to destroy everything that you have achieved so far. He has to convince you that you're too much, that you have established too much, you're too big, and you should diminish yourself. You should make yourself smaller, because no, he can't be with you. You make him afraid. You control him. You're too demanding. You say what you feel. You should become silent. And that is how this whole dynamic works. It's not about you. It's about his hatred, his misogyny, patriarchy, and this narcissistic thinking that as a woman, you should be doing this, performing this role, acting this way. But that none of that is true. It is this extreme narcissistic hatred he couldn't take out on his mother that he is taking out on you. You need to recognize this, because that way you would be able to separate yourself, because it's not your battle. It is his battle with himself and with his mother that he was never able to resolve and will never be. He is stuck in this perpetual cycle of finding strong women, targeting them just to bring them down. You are his eternal enemy, and he just wants to get rid of you. He wants to destroy you just to feel powerful. Now let's conclude this episode by watching this clip together. Because the male narcissist is unwilling to alter his behavior, he creeps through the dating pool in search of a partner willing to put up with his BS, but ends up with someone who seems to be more of a challenge to tame. He has no desire to develop or become more responsible. All he wants to do is remain in the loop with dysfunctional behavior, be held accountable for nothing, and be reckless forever. The truth is, he is destined to sabotage any relationship with a strong, independent woman who dares to set boundaries and expects him to behave in healthy ways. He will ruthlessly destroy her to feel better about himself. If you have been taken advantage of by a man like that, you should never question your own judgment. It's not that he doesn't value you enough, rather he finds you too much for him to manage. Deep down he knows he cannot deal with a partner as strong as you. He knows you are way out of his league but cannot accept it. That was it for today's episode. I hope you found it insightful. If you did, let me know in the comments. I'll talk with you in the next one. Until then, let the healing begin and continue.